visual stories from the forgotten past.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the world's most enduring mysteries, the Bermuda Triangle. For decades, this stretch of ocean has captured our imagination with tales of vanishing ships, disappearing aircraft, and unexplained phenomena. But what's really going on in these waters? Is there something supernatural at play? Or can science explain these disappearances? Stick around as we explore the facts, the legends, and the truth behind the Devil's Triangle.
Defining the triangle. First, let's establish what we're actually talking about. The Bermuda Triangle is a loosely defined region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean. Its 3 points are typically marked as Miami, Florida, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. This creates a triangular area of approximately 500,000 square miles of ocean. But here's something interesting. The term Bermuda Triangle wasn't even coined until 1964, when writer Vincent Gaddis used it in a magazine article. Before that, some people called it the Devil's Triangle or the Hoodoo Sea. The name stuck, and soon it became synonymous with maritime mystery. This region is one of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes in the world. Thousands of vessels pass through these waters every year, heading to ports in the Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean. It's also a popular route for private aircraft. With all this traffic, it's not surprising that incidents occur here.
Famous disappearances. Part A. Now, let's talk about some of the most famous cases that built the Triangle's reputation. Flight 19 is probably the most well-known incident. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on a routine training mission. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was an experienced pilot, but something went wrong during the exercise. Radio transmissions revealed confusion and compass malfunctions. Taylor reportedly said, "We don't know which way is west. Everything is wrong." Everything looks strange, even the ocean. The flight never returned. All 5 aircraft and their 14 crew members vanished. Then, in a twist that added to the mystery, one of the rescue planes sent to find them, a Martin Mariner with 13 crew members aboard, also disappeared. However, there's evidence this rescue plane may have exploded shortly after takeoff, as a passing ship reported seeing a fireball in the sky at that time.
Famous disappearances. Part B. Another famous case is the USS Cyclops. In March 1918, this massive Navy cargo ship was carrying over 300 people and 10,000 tons of manganese, or it left Barbados and was never seen again. No wreckage, no bodies, no distress signal, nothing. It remains the single largest loss of life in US naval history, not directly involving combat. What makes it even stranger is that 2 of the Cyclops' sister ships also vanished in the same area during World War II. The Douglas DC-3 disappearance in 1948 is another mysterious case. The aircraft was en route from San Juan to Miami with 32 people aboard. The pilot reported they were approaching Miami and preparing to land. Then all contact was lost. Despite extensive searches, no trace of the plane or passengers was ever found.
Rescue 1, still negative contact in Sector 4.
Roger, 1.
In 1963, the Marine Sulphur Queen, a tanker carrying molten sulfur, vanished with 39 crew members. Only some life preservers were found. In 1972, a German ship called the Anita, carrying coal, disappeared with 32 people aboard. These are just a few examples. Estimates vary wildly, but some sources claim that over 50 ships and 20 aircraft have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle under mysterious circumstances.
The theories. Part A. So what explanations have been proposed? They range from the scientific to the completely outlandish. Paranormal and supernatural theories include everything from alien abductions to portals to other dimensions. Some people believe the lost city of Atlantis lies beneath these waters, and its ancient technology interferes with modern navigation systems. Others suggest time warps or magnetic anomalies created by extraterrestrial activity. While these theories make for great science fiction, there's no credible evidence supporting them. Methane hydrates present a more scientific explanation. The ocean floor in some areas contains large deposits of methane gas trapped in ice-like structures. If these deposits rupture, they release massive bubbles of gas that rise to the surface. The theory suggests these bubbles could reduce the water's density so dramatically that ships would lose buoyancy and sink rapidly. The released gas could also affect aircraft engines or create clear air turbulence. While methane deposits do exist in the area, there's limited evidence that this has actually caused disappearances.
The theories. Part B. Rogue waves are another natural phenomenon that could explain some incidents. These are massive waves that can appear suddenly in open water, reaching heights of 80 to 100 feet. They're created when several wave patterns converge, and they're powerful enough to sink large ships. The Bermuda Triangle's location makes it susceptible to hurricanes and tropical storms that could generate such waves. Human error and environmental factors might be the most mundane, but also the most likely explanation for many incidents. The Bermuda Triangle has some unique characteristics. The Gulf Stream runs through it, creating strong currents and unpredictable weather. It's one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align, which can confuse compasses. The area experiences frequent and sudden storms, and the ocean floor has an extremely varied topology with deep trenches where wreckage could be lost forever. Additionally, many disappearances occurred decades ago when navigation and communication technology were far less advanced. Pilot error, mechanical failure, and getting lost were much more common.
The skeptical view. Now here's where things get interesting. When researchers have actually analyzed the data, the Bermuda Triangle doesn't seem quite so mysterious. In 1975, librarian Lawrence David Cush published a book called The Bermuda Triangle Mystery, Solved. He investigated the original reports of disappearances and found some startling inconsistencies. Many incidents attributed to the triangle actually occurred hundreds of miles away. Some mysterious disappearances happened during documented storms or bad weather, which wasn't mentioned in sensationalized accounts. In several cases, wreckage was actually found, contradicting claims that vessels vanished without a trace. Cush concluded that the legend of the Bermuda Triangle was manufactured through a combination of poor research, sensationalism, and the omission of key facts. When you factor in the sheer volume of traffic through this region, the number of incidents isn't statistically unusual. The U.S. Coast Guard doesn't recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a particularly dangerous area. In fact, insurance companies don't charge higher premiums for ships passing through it. which tells you something. If actuaries who calculate risk for a living aren't worried, maybe we shouldn't be either. The Worldwide Fund for Nature studied the world's most dangerous shipping routes and didn't include the Bermuda Triangle in their list. The waters off China, Southeast Asia, and the Mediterranean actually have higher incident rates.
Conclusion. So, what's the verdict on the Bermuda Triangle? The truth is less exciting than the legend, but it's probably this. The Bermuda Triangle is a busy shipping lane in a part of the ocean that experiences unpredictable weather, strong currents, and sudden storms. When you combine heavy traffic with challenging environmental conditions, accidents will happen. They happen everywhere in the world's oceans. The Bermuda Triangle just has better marketing. That said, the mystery has a certain appeal. It reminds us that even in our modern world, with GPS and satellite communication, the ocean remains vast and powerful. There are still unsolved disappearances, and we may never know exactly what happened to Flight 19 or the USS Cyclops. The ocean keeps some secrets, but the evidence suggests that supernatural forces, alien abductions, and ancient Atlantean technology probably aren't responsible. Instead, we're looking at a combination of natural phenomena, human error, outdated technology from earlier eras, and a healthy dose of sensationalism. Does this mean the Bermuda Triangle is completely safe? No body of water is without risk. Mariners should always respect the ocean and be prepared for unpredictable conditions. But should you be terrified of flying over or sailing through this region? Probably not. Millions of people do it safely every year. The Bermuda Triangle teaches us an important lesson about how myths are created, how selective reporting, confirmation bias, and our love of mystery can turn an ordinary stretch of ocean into a legendary death zone. What do you think? Have you ever traveled through the Bermuda Triangle? Do you believe there's something more to this mystery, or is it all explainable by science and statistics? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Mysteries Explained. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.